Hello, everyone. How are you today? Let me see. Oh, what happened? Okay. Hi, I'm Aimee Raupp of aimeeraupp.com, and I get to come to you live every single week and talk about some amazing things, some amazing stories of how women radically shifted their health and tips for you on what you can do to live your best life possible, your healthiest, your happiest, all of the things. Sorry, let me fix this screen. I guess it looks fine for you guys, but it's a little funky for me. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. Hi. So today we have another story of hope. This is what we call them in Aimee Raupp world. These are stories of women who have been on the fertility journey, who have struggled, who have been told by doctors or friends or family or all of the above that it wasn't going to happen for them because maybe their numbers weren't great, or maybe they were too old, or maybe there was too many things that were wrong with them. And then they come and they work with me and we make some shifts. We fix the kinks, as I say, in their system, and we get to see these women take home their babies. And this woman in particular has a little baby boy at home right now. He has the same name as my father, and his middle name is the same name as my son. And that wasn't planned. She didn't even know it was my father's name, but very special nonetheless. And so let me give you a little bit about her history. So this is how I do it. Like I have the notes here on the case. And then I also have on my screen pulled up some of her lab work and her new patient intake form. So these are all things that I collect before I work with someone, before I coach. I do a really detailed health history intake. I usually collect lab work if they have some. And I only want current lab work, like the last year. I don't want to go all the way back because it doesn't matter that much. And then we do the very detailed intake. I come up with a plan for them. And this woman did 2 coaching sessions with me. So a little history. She read my book. So, I have 2 books that really pertain to fertility. So she read Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. And this was about, let's see, she's had the baby. So probably go back 2.5 years ago. She read Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. Followed everything in the book to a T. She was, when she came to me, she was 41. So she started trying to conceive at 40. And she's had previous children from a previous marriage, but it had been a long time since she's had any children. So she got remarried again later, around the age of 40. And so she started, like I said, started following everything in here at the age of 40. They tried for 13 months with no success. When she at one point I was doing back in the day these free 15-minute consults. And so we did a free 15-minute consult. And she had told me she had thyroid issues. And I had also asked, because they did a vasectomy reversal for her partner, her now husband, because he had previous children as well and had a vasectomy. Then he reversed it. They decided they wanted to have children. I said, have you had sperm checked since the reversal? They hadn't checked it in months. So they checked sperm again. So they tried for 13 months. They checked sperm again, only to find out they have low motility and poor morphology. So now the doctor's saying the only option is IVF. So she does this free 15-minute consult with me, follows up with this information, and she's really stressed. What should I do? What can I do? And I said, we could coach together. And so she decided to coach with me, but she also, at the same time, I was running my fertility reset program, which is our 30-day mind-body fertility reset program based on the information in Body Belief in my most recent book. She was having, so some of her symptoms, let me just read these to you. These are what we call, in my world, the kinks in her system, because as I always say, fertility is an extension of health, okay? So some of her symptoms were headaches, hair loss, poor vision, dry scalp, bruise easily, overweight. She was having a hard time losing weight, fatigue, cold hands and feet, urinary issues, mood swings, irritability, bad menstrual cramps, bad PMS, vaginal dryness, um, and a pretty decent menstrual flow, 3 to 4 days, pretty decent menstrual flow from what I remember in my notes. So so she decides to do the fertility reset with me. Like I said, the 30-day mind body program. And then at the same time, she's going to coach with me. But because of my schedule, we couldn't really coach till almost the end of the 30-day program, which actually I thought was the best because I wanted her to get into the diet. And really, in that program, you get a lot of coaching from me in the Facebook group. So she does the fertility reset. She'd already done the free 15-minute consult with me, and she also joined my Ultimate Fertility Membership Program, which is a monthly membership program for about It's $22 a month. I do office hours, or I come live in there once a month and support the women in that group. They get access to all sorts of my guides and meditations on the back end for their $22 a month, and we also have a monthly theme. So we're giving them as much information as we can and support them, and then they have their own little community too, which is really nice. So she was an Ultimate Fertility Membership member. She did the fertility reset, and she did the free 15-minute consult with me. And then she signed up for a 2-pack of coaching with me. And so when we did our initial consult, we talked about her thyroid issues. So she sent a lot of her labs. She had fertility reboot. Thank you, not fertility reset. The reset is the free thing that we're launching at the end of next week, I think. So anyway, I get confused. So she has hypothyroid issues. She'd been working with a doctor to manage it. She had sent me all her labs. She did not have thyroid antibodies, so she did not have Hashimoto's, but she did have this chronic thyroid issue that was giving her a hard time. Her thyroid was always bouncing around, and so she had these hypothyroid symptoms like the weight gain and the fatigue. She'd also gone through a very stressful time with ending her previous marriage, and then there was a relationship after that marriage, and it was a high anxiety time, and she basically put herself into adrenal failure. So she had a couple things that were just, really, as I would call, red flags. Like her body just still was in this fight or flight, this survival mode, this scary mode. She had digestion issues, skin, hair, nails. None of them were growing that great. She couldn't lose weight, right? So the things we went through. She had leaky gut that was diagnosed by a practitioner, and adrenal fatigue, like I said. So she does the fertility reboot. And and mind you too, she had this thyroid condition. She was already, because she'd been reading this, she'd already been gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Her symptoms still weren't changing. So the fertility reboot that we did was what really changed the game on her. So this 30-day program, which in my e-course, we call it the Fertility Purify Eating Plan. But basically, if you've tried the gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free lifestyle and you're still not getting pregnant, things still aren't radically shifting for you, you should go another step further and follow my body belief protocol in there. So that's what she did. So by the time we talk, she's at the end of the 30-day reboot, and she is feeling good. Her digestion is better. Her energy is better. She really notices that, she bloats from too many grains and too many nuts. But her energy's back. She's been going to the gym. Her periods are coming regularly. They're 28 days. Very sore breast, PMS, but they were less on the fertility reboot. She also noticed her moodiness was less on the reboot. Her cycle, she bleeds 3 to 4 days, heavy the first day, no clots. The cramping got much better on the reboot. So again, the dietary shifts in here made a bigger difference for her than just the basic dietary shifts in here. And then her period starts to slow down on cycle day 2. By 3 or 4, it's almost gone. She has a healthy ovulation. And then at this point, like I said, they had made the decision to do IVF because the vasectomy reversal, low sperm, poor motility, and morphology And she was really frustrated too because they had been trying to conceive for, like I said, those 13 months prior. And she was doing everything, like changing the diet, doing all the things. She joined the UFM. She was really engaged, like in these communities too, asking lots of questions. And so very frustrated that sperm hadn't been checked sooner and that no one had recommended to check it again after the reversal. I was the only one who had recommended that. So, and then when she went for the workup with the fertility doctors, they really pointed out to her some things that set her back. That she was too old. She had poor ovarian reserve based on her numbers. Her thyroid was out of whack, and she was overweight. And so the doctor was like, I don't think this is going to be a good option for you. And in fact, I think we should probably just go right to donor eggs, considering we already have sperm issues. She was devastated. And so a lot of what her and I worked on and what we worked on when we did the reboot too, because like I said, they get these 4 weekly coaching sessions with me in the Facebook group, like live coaching for the whole group. We work a lot on our belief system. So the work that she had done with me in the reboot was really helpful. And she said to me, I really believe that I can do this. I really believe in my body. But the doctor's telling me, based on my labs, I have low ovarian reserve, even though, because her antral follicle count only showed 4 follicles. Her FSH was decent. I think it was around a 10. And her AMH was pretty decent too, at like a 0.5 or so. But they were just saying the antral follicle count, your age, you're overweight, this probably isn't going to happen for you. You should do donor eggs. So of course, as you guys can imagine, she was devastated. You guys can probably relate. If you can, give me a hands up, or a heart or something like that. And also I should tell you guys, I got something free for you at the end. So just stick around. It's, information on improving your fertility in your 40s. And it's a nice, info sheet that we have for you guys. So you can just message us and you can get access to that too. Yeah, I'm seeing some hearts. So I know people can relate. So basically, your doctor is judging you based on your labs, based on your age, based on your physical appearance, and nothing else, right? And not saying that there's anything you can do to shift or improve it. And this is what I see all the time. I see women coming to me. They tell me, I have poor ovarian reserve, that I have poor egg quality, that I'm too this, I'm too that. My labs say this, my labs say that there is no hope. And there's always hope. One thing I teach all the time, and you guys have heard me say this, is we can improve our health, we can improve our fertility, because when we improve our health, we improve the function of every single cell in our body. And then guess what? When we improve the function of all the cells in our body, it improves the quality of those cells, including the cells in your ovaries, which make up your eggs. So yes, you can improve egg quality. Yes, you can shift your health to optimize your fertility. And that's exactly what we did here with Susan. So again, she does the 30-day program. Then we're doing our coaching call and they're prepping for IVF, but they've already basically been told, like, this ain't going to happen for you. You're going to have to use donor eggs. You might have to use donor embryos because the sperm isn't good either. So good luck, right? Yeah, I agree. But then they've decided too that if they're going to do IVF, that they're going to do PGS testing, because she's like, I don't want to get pregnant and miscarry. She'd had an ectopic in her previous marriage. So she'd gone through the pain of a miscarriage and she just didn't want to deal with that again, So if we're going to do IVF, we're going to go and we're going to do the genetic testing. We're only going to put in the normal embryos. Okay, this all sounds great. So her sex drive was good, her body temperature. She used to have cold hands and feet. Since doing the reboot, she felt much better. She'd been working on beliefs. Big one for her was reminding her body that she's safe now. So her immune system, her adrenals could calm down, right? She's safe. So we had her on my typical supplements. We had her on cod liver oil, liver, methylfolate, collagen, spirulina. She didn't have her vitamin D levels tested, so I made sure she gets those tested. She was on Chinese herbs as well. She was getting acupuncture regularly. We had the husband on liver, spirulina, and he was following the same diet and feeling really good about all that. She was having a lot of hair fallout, but since she did the reboot, that has stopped. Red flags have changed since doing the reboot. And let's see, she struggles with meditation, she had said, so I had recommended trying some tapping because it's a little more active form. I gave her this prayer about forgiving ourselves, forgiving previous relationships, and really just working on that spiritual piece of like just getting reconnected and like where in there is the fear, where in there's the trauma stored, and how to forgive all that. And her doctor told her that she had a 15% chance of getting pregnant, of this working. And so she had a lot of anxiety around that, and rightfully so. A lot of anxiety around that. So that was our initial intake. So I sent her off with continuing to follow the diet. We had made some other tweaks, supplements, that kind of thing. Then we did another call when she was starting the first IVF. And so they saw 18 follicles on the first scan, which was amazing, especially from her doctor telling her that she had low ovarian reserve, and he only saw 4 antral follicles when he did the count. And she kept reminding herself, I only need one good one. I only need one good one. I only need one good one. Because she knew she could get pregnant, right? She's had ease getting pregnant in the past. So, meaning in her previous relationship. So the trigger was that evening, retrieval was the following day or after the trigger. So she was sticking to the diet. She'd reintroduced a couple things, and we really just worked through a lot of fear and anxiety. Am I going to get any good ones? And so when they went in to retrieve, they didn't get a single egg. Like half of them were empty. And then none of them, if they fertilized, they just didn't do anything. They didn't make it. So as you can imagine, that was absolutely devastating, especially to go to 18 follicles to have none. And I know some of you on here can completely relate to that. So obviously she was fucking traumatized. This is never going to work for me. Maybe we have to do donor. And I just said, because personally, I thought she was way overstimmed because she was showing signs of ovarian hyperstimulation. And I think the doctor came at her with way too much medication, which he did because of her numbers, because of her lab results, and because of her age. And I really, 18 is fine to see, but I always say it's like cooking versus microwaving. You kind of want slow and steady growth. And she just had like, boom, these 18 all showed up like, and they were big and they were ready. And I think she went a little early. So anyway, instead of her, she went down that rabbit hole of like, I'm going to have to use donor, which is not a bad thing. There's a lot of women that use donor, but this was, she was in her process, and I support women wherever they are in their process. And I said, I think we should just go back to the drawing board, talk to the doctor about changing the medication dose, lowering the dose, going in more slow and steady for you, and then let's retrieve. And if the same thing happens again, then maybe we have a different conversation. But I do think you can do this. I do think there's some good ones in there. I think you were over-medicated. And she was. It was high doses. She's in Australia, so the dosing's a little different than the US, but high doses. And so she talked with the doctor. We got her to change the protocol. I think I could tell you guys the protocol too, actually, if you want to hear it. I know for all my girls that go through cycles, so let's see. New schedule. Okay. And then I said, can you send the first one? So the first schedule was, she was stimmed. See, it's different meds too, but it was basically 200 micrograms a day all the way through day 12. And then they added in another stim from day 8 to day 12. And then we talked to the doctor about changing the protocol because that's what rendered nothing good. And the new schedule was, they dropped her to 175, and they just dropped the second stim altogether. And anyway, we'll get into that now too. So they made some changes, and we then go back in, and they were able to send 5 off for PGS testing. And so, I want to read you the email. Okay. So she sends me this email. I'm gearing up for the next round, but taking all my supplements, exercising, watching my diet, enjoying my nourishing food. I feel really healthy and fit, even though I haven't lost much weight. I'm not stressing about it. I can't do anything more than I'm doing right now. I started acupuncture again. And her thyroid had come back very low. So we had to make some adjustments to her thyroid meds as well, which that could have also impacted that poor response with that first IVF. If your thyroid isn't in the right range, which it really needs to be between a 1 and a 2, a max of 2.5, your TSH. If it's not, it can really impact egg quality and how things unfold. And so, she tweaked her things. I said low TSH will negatively impact things, so we should adjust that. And let's see. And then we go ahead. We do the retrieval. They get 12, 9 fertilized, 7. I think they sent 5. Yeah, 5 off. Let me just see it. Sorry. We sent 5 off for testing, and she got 2 good ones. So we did the transfer. She just put 1 in, and we have a perfect little baby boy. Over the moon and excited. I finally get to tell my other children. They're very shocked and excited as well. Onwards we go to a healthy and hopefully non-eventful pregnancy. Thank you for all your guidance, Aimee. This wouldn't be possible without you. And I had just had my miscarriage, so she said, and you were in my thoughts as you heal and get everything good that is still coming to you, which is so sweet. And so, yeah, so her thyroid stuff, and then, yeah, that was it. So she was doing castor oil packs also every other day, leading into the retrieval. So obviously leading into the transfer. So we retrieved, had to send them off for PGS testing. She got the 2 normals after a terrible previous IVF cycle. And at this point, too, she had been following the Body Belief eating plan for almost 4 months, actually over 4 months. I think that had a major impact as well. And the supplements, we were working a lot on the mindset side of things. So again, to give you the breakdown, so she followed the Yes You Can Get Pregnant, did this free 15-minute consult with me, found out sperm was poorer quality than they anticipated. She signed up for the fertility reboot. She also did 2 coaching sessions with me. She joined the Ultimate Fertility membership. And then once she signed up for the fertility reboot in January, she followed this diet basically all the way through into this pregnancy. So her FSH was slightly elevated. Her AMH was, I think, pretty average for her age, but her antral follicle count was low. Her TSH, her thyroid, she had issues there. She was overweight. Her doctor basically told her that based on her labs that she should use a donor egg and maybe a donor embryo because of her husband's sperm quality being so poor. So, we had her on all the supplements, the diet, Chinese herbs, acupuncture, castor oil packs, meditation, exercise, tapping. Husband was doing the same stuff. And we got a healthy baby after being told that that wasn't going to happen for her, a 15% chance. And she did it. Yay. So do you guys have any questions about this case? Do you want to be another story of hope? You can sign up for coaching with me or group coaching with me and my partner, Michelle. We do have 1 spot left for our coaching program that starts next week. It's a 5-week group coaching program, and you can you just DM us Instagram for the link, and Facebook we can post the link here. Again, there's 1 spot left. We only accept 8 girls. And it's a group coaching program with Michelle and I, where you get 3 group coaching sessions led by me, and there's 8 other women, and we kind of do a roundtable discussion of each case, and everybody gets 15 minutes of quality time with me, 10 to 15 minutes. How old was the patient? 41 when she conceived finally. Just about to turn 42 actually. And and really they did IVF because of the sperm issues, but you know, in retrospect, I don't know that they necessarily needed the IVF, but it did get them there probably faster, maybe. I don't know. She was a bit defeated. What brand of liver do you recommend? All my recommendations are on my website. If you go to aimeeraupp.com under shop, you'll see all my recommended vitamins. So just you can check out there. Castor oil packs. So just Google Aimee Raupp and castor oil, and you're going to see a video on what castor oil packs are and how to do them. And the last spot for the group coaching, if you go to aimeeraupp.com/group coaching, and then I get my eyes on your case and I give you very detailed, individualized recommendations, and I write up a whole case summary and a protocol just for you from this group coaching program. And then also private message us. We do have something special for you about how to improve your fertility and get pregnant in your 40s, which I have done, and this woman did, and a lot of women have done that have worked with me and my team. And also stay tuned. Next week on Monday, I'm going to do my second fertility hot seat, which is when I go live. And one of you guys requests to join me, and you get to come on, and I do a live, free 15-minute consult with you in front of this whole audience. So everybody gets to learn. And that's the only way I do my free 15-minute consults anymore, is we do these fertility hot seats every other week. And you get to choose, you just ask to join me live, and I'll pick one of you. And it's only on Instagram. I'm sorry, Facebook. So Facebook, you got to follow me on Instagram to get access to that. Same name, just follow me on Instagram. And then when I go live, you just hit the request to join live, and I pull you on. And in front of the audience, we work through your case, and I give you a free 15-minute consultation. Can you do castor oil pack for too long? And is every other day best? Again, I have a great blog post on all the information on my website. So even if you just Google Aimee Raupp and the words castor oil, all the information will be there. Or just private message us and I'll send you the link, okay? All right, guys. I loved sharing these stories of hope. And through the month of August and into September, we're going to be sharing, I have a whole folder of recent stories of hope. Look at this. It's called Stories of Hope. Story of Hope. Also info maybe about the numbers you recommend for thyroid too. They're all in my books. I'll say that first of all, but everything should be in what's called the functional range. So in my books, like especially in Yes You Can Get Pregnant, in the back, I'll just tell you the page and you can go there and see for yourself. Page 165 and 166, all the information on thyroid numbers is there. Functional range for TSH is between a 1 and a 2, max a 2.5. That is ideal for fertility. And basically the T3 and the T4, you want them right in the middle of the range. And then thyroid antibodies, you don't want to have any. And if you do, you really have to follow this protocol. Okay, so there's a lot of things. So Monday, if someone wants to come on and get a free 15-minute consult with me, join me live on Instagram on Monday. We'll post about it so you know all the details and how to do it. We'll post about it, don't worry. If you want to do group coaching with me and Michelle, you can read more about it at aimeeraupp.com/group coaching. Again, there is one spot left, and then we're not doing this again until late September. And what else? We have a free guide for you on how to improve your fertility in your 40s. So just message us, Instagram, you can private message us, and Facebook, I think we're posting it's a free webinar on how to get pregnant in your 40s. And yeah, so much good stuff. How long after trying should my husband be tested? I'd say within 6 to 9 months, they should be tested. How long should we try after doing the diet and acupuncture before trying IVF? It depends on a lot of things. Like I think generally speaking, 6 to 9 months. Love hearing these stories of hope. Oh, good. Do the IVF drugs mess up your thyroid? They can a little bit. Depends on the client. Yes. Okay, you guys are so great. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you very soon. Mwah. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.